Welcome, everyone, to the Men's Yoga Podcast. Today on the podcast, we have a very, very special guest, one of my teachers, who I can't express enough what he has done for me and how many doors he has opened internally for me, Mr. Jivasu. And we're just going to dive into some questions right now. So tell us a little bit about who you are and where you're from.
Right. So, as Matt mentioned, my name is Jivasu, and originally I'm from India, northern India, very close to the Himalayas. And I'm settled now in Canada. My background is in medicine. I'm a pediatrician. But later on, I learned about acupuncture. I worked in the remote villages of Himalayas for 13 years on voluntary basis. And also I got mind-body medicine training from Harvard. And I taught both of them in McMaster University in Hamilton, Ontario.
Yeah, that's
but now my life is entirely changed, and what I'm teaching is called Somatofulness. Basically, return to the body, the enlightenment of the body, awakening of the body. So that is where I am.
And like I said, your teachings are, I can't begin to express how important they've been in my life. What does a day in the life of Jivasu look like? Are you going to open that door for everyone a little bit?
Yeah, sure. The mornings are very beautiful and slow. I usually share a cup of tea with my wife. That is the best part of the day. Half an hour we spend with our cat. So everything is relaxing without any alarm, without any hurry, because we plan our day in such a way that there's no rush. And I usually gather my thoughts, articulate them, because every single night I wake up between 3 to 4 o'clock. And that is the most creative time. All kinds of beautiful thoughts, ideas come. And also in that hour, I go very deep into energy state. It's already there, but I go very, very deep, and it is spontaneous. I don't do anything about it.
Yeah, so you're not setting an alarm or anything. You automatically get up at this time and have this creative process happen.
Exactly. Right. And then, the after breakfast, all those creative ideas and thoughts, which is happening for the last 22 years, they are written, expressed, conveyed. That is how I wrote few books, and all my teachings are based on those insights and thoughts.
Wow.
And to me, the day is usually a flow, or I will say deeper than flow, because nowadays my whole body vibrates with this energy like a tuning fork. So rushing of the energy, and sometimes it goes into deep bliss, because when it becomes very powerful, then I have to stop my work for some time. And also in the morning, some people, they want to meet on Zoom. So I meet and answer their questions. And usually afternoons, I do a workshop or a talk. And again, the writing. And in the evening, again, this energy becomes very strong. So I go for a walk, connect and to the nature. And once I am nature, actually, this energy dramatically expands, and it seems like I become the part of everything. And that is what I call sensuousness. So there is a specific term I give. It is a kind of expansive sensory perception. It has nothing to do with the thought or emotions. It's a pure sensory body experience.
Wow.
Yeah.
Speaking of like your energy, I remember the first time I met you in person was at one of our friend Monica at Church 444, her yoga studio, and you opened up with a little chant, and it was so crazy for me because it was like the first time where I felt all this emotion build up that I'm like, I feel like I'm gonna cry, and I don't even know what the heck just happened here. Like, and all I did was just hear you chant a few words, and this whole energy just came up from inside of me. It was like, it was funny. It was almost like there was this deep connection of like, I needed to be here and hear this. It was, yeah, it was unbelievable. How did you start your yoga journey? Like, now living in India, were you brought up practicing this, or was it something that you kind of stumbled across later?
No, actually, it started when I was a young child because my mother used to go to her guru's ashram in northern part of India. And as children, we watched these many people doing yoga poses and breathing and meditation and discourses. Of course, I was never interested in it. It was far too boring for a child to do all this. So I never participated. But definitely that created an impression. And I remember around the age of 12 or 13, we were in a deep trance-like state along with my two cousins for almost a month.
Wow.
So I will say that was a spontaneous yoga experience, not in terms of yoga asanas or poses, but overall soaking into that trance-like state, experiencing something else.
Right, because yoga, I guess the misconception for a lot of people starting off here in North America is that it's like just doing the poses, right? But yoga is a lot deeper,
That's right.
a lot deeper than that.
Yeah, because yoga means, uniting with myself because we are split, we are conflicted, we are fragmented. And in these yoga moments, we come together as a whole person with a sense of well-being. So yes, that started, I will say concretely around the age of 10 or 11, I was.
Do you have any yoga practices that you do?
Not since 1996, because until 1996, I used to do some yoga poses and breathing and meditation. But September 7, 1996, there was a very transformative event in my life. And since then, actually, whole of yoga became very spontaneous. So that means the various types of breathing, they happen on their own. Sometimes even breath is suspended for a few seconds or a minute. And also meditative state goes on its own. And also some of the yoga poses, they happen to me naturally. And particularly again, between 3 to 4 a.m., I wake up and body wants to take a particular pose for 3 to 4 minutes. And it happens. And after that, I slip into the sleep. So I don't have any intentional practice. It happens most of the time.
Have you taught at any ashrams?
Uh, yes, because I was teaching in Rishikesh and there is a Nadi Yoga ashram. So I was teaching a variety of courses, including Nadi Yoga, which is yoga of sound and music, Kundalini Yoga, and the Hatha Yoga or Patanjali's Yoga, and also meditation program.
Did you yourself ever go on an exploration to deepen your practice?
I never did because since very beginning, I had this conviction that whatever we need is inside us.
Mm.
But definitely, I read a lot of other people, the spiritual teachers, yoga teachers. So I was absorbing knowledge. But as such, I never attended a retreat or a course or a program. But of course, I was in Sivanada Ashram, Rishikesh, from 1983 to 1988, so 5 years. And I was observing others. But I never participated actively in any one of those kind of things.
It's nice to hear because you can find your yoga, your union with in any way that comes to you, right? You don't have to follow these exact steps to try to do that, right? There's many
Exactly.
ways. There's many ways. And
That's
your
right.
teachings teach that a lot too, which I really enjoyed.
That's right. Yeah. In fact, because of that, I discovered myself a different discipline of yoga asana, which I call somatic poses or naturality yoga. And in that yoga, your body is teaching you. So there is no need for mat or instructor or teacher. You feel your body because body has all the possible movements, which is coordinated with the brain. And that is what I discovered because my body was very stiff. So in this somatic yoga, somatic poses or naturality yoga, the body is the teacher and you take different poses according to the body. So you can never injure yourself. There is no problem and anybody can do it. A partially paralyzed, a disabled, a very stiff person, a very old person, and you can do it anywhere. You are sitting in a waiting room or lining up for a cup of coffee, traveling in passenger seat. So by virtue of that, I was able to put it together.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. What has been your biggest learning experience?
My biggest learning experience, I will say, falling in love.
I love that. That's awesome.
Because, love is spontaneous yoga. It is a union of two energies, union of two mind, union of two emotions and bodies. That was 1981 when I had love at first sight with my wife. And it was the most powerful experience. And such an experience is actually energy experience. What we call love is activation of our own life energy. And it sustained for almost 2 years. So it brought concrete changes in my brain and body, which became the foundation of all my spiritual experiences in future.
Wow. Yeah, that's powerful. And a teaching within the self. I feel like we could dive so deep into that, right?
It is almost limitless. That is why I say love is the best yoga and other practices can complement it.
Right. So following that question then, what has been your favorite life experience?
The same.
Right.
The reason being that it created a cascade of a reaction or action in my life. And even now it continues. So that is my biggest experience and the most favorite experience because it was a transformative experience.
Wow.
Although there were even much bigger experiences after that happened in 1984 and 1996 and then 2021. But they are the result of that, which laid the foundation of all other future happenings.
How important are they in our life to have those massive experiences?
I think they are important because those massive experiences don't happen suddenly. They are cumulative. So what happens? Little experiences are accumulating and they come to a critical threshold and then some big experience happen. But actually all experiences, all spiritual evolution is slow and graded. Although some people present them as if this one experience happened in few minutes and it changed the whole life. Actually, it is not true. Evolution, transformation is a slow process, but a critical point comes when it becomes visible. We can feel it clearly. So
right,
we
like a volcano
assign.
doesn't, yeah, like a volcano just doesn't erupt.
That's right.
It builds up.
That's right. And they are not really very important also because in some people's life, everything goes on a little more slowly, little more gently, and is still very transformative.
Right.
Yeah.
So what do you have? Because we try to keep these basically short. I feel like I could probably talk to you for hours and soak in as much as I can. What do you have offering right now for people?
Well, because of certain experiences in 2021, to me, this whole COVID 18 months were like a wonderful retreat, transformative retreat because of lockdown. So we are currently teaching somatofulness, return to the body, path of the body, peak body experience. And basically what it is that we are disconnected from our body. We were already, but because of the invent of mobiles, internet, computer, digital culture, artificial intelligence, we are living more and more in our mind. And the result of that, we are suffering from disconnection from the body, resulting in a lot of emotional and mental health problem. And also because we are disconnected from the body, we lost connection with the nature also. So nature we just go to for our pleasure, but we don't have real connection. So idea of this current teaching is how to reconnect to this body, how to experience life energy, which will take care of a lot of our stresses, anxiety, depression, and similar problem, and also connecting to the nature again, because we know we are destroying this nature very fast.
Right.
So that is the correct teaching.
Yeah, and I really strongly suggest everyone to take it, even sit through, because you have a couple things you offer. You offer your gathering on Sundays.
Yes.
And then there's 3 levels of this somatofulness, right?
Yes,
Correct.
now we are teaching 2 levels. One is introductory and second is advanced.
Oh, okay.
But in future, we are going to have a 7-day long retreat also, 5 days online and two days in person.
Oh, awesome. That's awesome. That sounds exciting.
Hmm.
So I strongly suggest everyone to check out, at least you show up on the Sunday for the gathering, and it's going to suck you in. The teaching is unreal. It's amazing. I strongly suggest everybody to check out the Sunday gatherings. If you've heard of Sadhguru, then you need to be following Jivasu, because it's going to open so much knowledge and so much information for you and so many doors for yourself. I've done a couple of his courses, and it's been life-changing for me, and I couldn't thank you enough, Jivasu. Thank you so much for being here and being on the podcast. Where can everybody find you?
Well, the best way is to go to the website, which is jivasu.org, O-R-G.
Okay.
And everything is there.
All the social media links and everything is there. And
That's
I'll
right.
also include all the links when we post this up as well.
That's right.
Okay, well, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. And again, thank you, Jivasu. And we'll see everybody on the next podcast. Take care.